Hey family, this is Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. I'm gonna make a song out of that. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation. Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. What's up, family? I just want to say I love y'all. I decided to come on a little bit. Uh, Y'all know what I'm about, right? Y'all know where my heart is at when it comes to our city. Let me see, can I hear myself? Um, y'all know how it is. Y'all know where my heart is at. Okay, I can hear myself. When it comes to our city. Let me see, can I hear myself? Yeah, I hear myself. Y'all know how it is. Let me turn this down. Okay. Anyway, Steve Copeland from the Couch Conversation Show. I just came on here just a little bit, y'all. I try to stay in my own lane. I try to do what I do, as far as trying to help our city, trying to help our people, things like that. But what I do like to share with y'all before I go too far, go on my Google page. Go on Google search, look up strengthening the community. Right? On the Google search. Leave a little comment. You know, Write a little something, something, something. If you don't like me, put that on there. The good, the bad, the ugly. Put it on there. I don't mind. I just want y'all to support my page. Now, basically, I'm trying to do a lot of stuff, and I'm talking about internet-wise, right, by myself for right now. As far as when my live, like I'm on live stream, and I know my live stream or restream. I'm sorry. When I do my restream, it shows up on other pages, and it actually is supposed to go to 30 other social sites and stuff like that. So if you're out of town, I won't know unless you kind of share with me where you at and what's going on and stuff like that. But I am really trying to, stay away from where I used to be. I try to share the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And that's what I try to do. Some people might get upset about it, but it's okay. Uh-oh, let me turn this back down again. I just want to make sure. But anyway, I'm gonna try to go in this area just a little bit, just a little bit. And I want to say this: we have safe streets that's doing a good job wherever they at in the community wise. We have Ceasefire that's doing a great job for whatever part of the communities or whatever part of the city that they are in. We have, and Valerie might kill me, but hugs don't shoot, right? We have a lot of nonprofit organizations, that's in these communities. And I just want to say this here because I wrote a statement earlier. Being a part of Communities United of Baltimore, Maryland. What Communities United does, I call that the baby branch of the NAACP. They fight for the democracy of black people here in Baltimore. That's what that I don't want to say program, but that's what we're about here. I volunteered some years ago with Communities United, trying to help turn some things around in the community, and then I became one of the board members. And my whole goal with that, because we would go out and we would fight against certain laws that I'm gonna say our politicians would create to hurt your low to moderate income people. Y'all know that most of the bills that they create hurt our black people, our hustlers and stuff like that. I'm not saying that hustling is right. If you do the crime, you need to do the time. right? But it's fighting for your equal rights. So if you got a white person that can come out and commit a crime and only get 5 years, why can't why and that black man excuse me, y'all, and that black man commit the same crime, and then you want to give him 30 years? So that's why we will fight against certain laws, right? With housing, this is one of Communities United specialties too. When it comes to housing and when it comes to wages, they will fight for your equal rights, your civil rights, your constitutional rights. A lot of y'all might not know. I spoke on the minimum wage, $15, minimum wage twice. Once here in Baltimore City and at a rally in Annapolis. And later they passed the bill. When it comes to the slumlords to become licensed landlords, I Community United with the council members fought that bill and got it passed. Now, if your house is not up to code, you get a certain time to get that house up to code. So landlords that haven't been licensed now have to become licensed, right? Now, the reason why I helped fight that bill is because sitting with the council members, they feel like this. It's the mold, it's the lead, and it's the rat droppings or the rodents dropping in people's houses, unhealthy houses. It's what's causing our kids to act the way they act. So that's one of the reasons why, with Communities United, I began to support that bill and they got the bill passed. So my thing is, you have to learn to pick your battles. You have to learn as a soldier to be good at what you do. You know what I mean? A lot of people ain't gonna like what you do. Some people gonna praise what you do. Now, to me, when I come out and I do stuff, I try to do stuff to help our low to moderate income people, our poor people, just live a productive way of life, y'all. The same way we have people, right, living in these $200,000 to $300,000 houses, we can get the low to moderate income people and houses ran about 80, maybe 100 or 120,000 that will keep them their mortgage rates low. That's why for me, I try to hook up with people that's into stuff like that, so that we can help. I'm gonna say the poor people. But I'm looking at the Black Wall Street, right? How we can recreate that. Like we got supermarkets in our communities that were shut down. We can reopen them again. Might have to tear the building down and everything and rebuild, right? Rebuild. That's the whole point of a new Baltimore, rebuilding our city. We have issues with the school system, and it's not the school system itself, it's the people. It's the people. So now you got to fight against them to do the right things. Then you got housing. Then you have homeless services. Now you got to fight against people that get paid to do a job, but they being taught not to do it. That's sad. That's sad. So when you look at it and you wonder why we dealing with a lot of homelessness, a lot of crime, a lot of vacant buildings, and most of them are in the inner city, right? In the city, in the ghetto. And you got so many people. The sad thing about it, you have so many people that know they need to do better when it comes to helping us in our city. But they just choose not to because they want to keep their jobs. I don't never, ever want to feel trapped like that again in my life. So a lot of people talk about slavery and being in bondage and all this type of stuff. when you working somewhere and you start working there to make life better for people, but you get around the elite or the crowd and you become part of that. That's why I never cared for gangs and all that type of stuff, because I stand out on my own, mainly when it comes to us doing what we need to do for our people. I don't never ever want to feel like I can only step a certain way, right? But what I learned, and I'm gonna just say this with Communities United, right? Um, it's a certain, when you working for Communities United, it's a certain boundary you have to stay from within. I mean, within. It's a certain boundary, I'm sorry, that you have to stay in. The difference with me, because I don't work for Communities United, I will take that next step to help people actually get done what needs to be done. So a lot of your nonprofit organizations, they mean right, they mean well, but because they're getting paid, they only allowed to go to a certain step because they don't want to lose whatever funding that they're getting to do whatever they're supposed to do in the communities. So with me, because I'm not obligated, I tend to step in and do something totally different. And I just got off the phone with somebody, right? And I just said I wasn't gonna talk like I used to and all that type of stuff, but I just got off the phone with somebody, and I was sharing with them how um, we sell our people out. We sell our people out. A lot of organizations appear to do some great things, but we sell our people out. And with these organizations that we have, right, Baltimore City should not, once again, be in the condition that it's in. A lot of y'all that have nonprofits understand this. You do not own the nonprofit. Read your stuff. When you get a nonprofit, it's your way of saying to the state and the federal, because they approve you, that you're going to get that community, because it's all about the community. It's the people in the community. Whatever nonprofit you come up with, you saying you're going to build up in that community. So you got to get out and get involved with the community, because it's about the community. But some people take their nonprofits and they run all over. And that's not what it's about. It doesn't belong to the individual. Even though you're the founder, the CEO, and all that type of stuff, it does not belong to you. It belongs to whatever community you told them that you want to build up. So basically what I'm saying, it's not about you. It's about helping the people. It's about the people. And I think a lot of us forget that. And if you're running a full profit or a business or something like that, and if you're not pleasing your customers, they will stop coming to your business. That's why you promote the things that you do. You probably do discounts and stuff like that, because it's all, once again, about the people, the community. So when I come into something, and I was telling one of our team members, if I come in and support whatever you're doing, my goal is to understand what your program is all about and to help you move to that next level. I do not want to take nobody's stuff from them. That's not how I roll. So if I step in, which I right now, that's not my vision, because I've been seeing, and I understand today, a lot of people get offended because I step in and I'm a go-getter. And they feel like I'm trying to outdo them or take something from them. And that's not where my heart and my mind is at. That's not where I'm at. So I don't care to be a part of a lot of stuff other people doing now. I just don't. because I don't want you to ever feel like that against me again. You know, I don't want it. And I found out in the process, because I'm a go-getter, that bothers people. And I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. And the person I was talking to not too long ago, right, they were saying, Steve, certain things that make people feel uncomfortable, you got to really stop doing. And I said, I'm realizing all of that now. I'm realizing all of that. That's why my goal is to focus more on what I want to do with strengthening the community. And I just want to say this, trying to get this out the way, talking about this forecast this came down. I don't have no problems with getting donations. None. I drove the tractor trailer for like 30 something years, like 32 years, right? On and off. Let me put it like that. Maybe well over 25 years straight now. But I met a lot of businesses in this process, and when I say businesses, I mean I met a lot of the owners on a personal note with businesses. And some of them had warehouses full of stuff that they don't have a problem with donating back or selling them at a certain price. So my goal is to connect with these people so that we can get whatever products we need to move Baltimore forward. So that's what I do. I thank God for the box truck. You know, during that time I was with No One Person Goes Hungry. We was picking up and still do. So I'm trying to watch the past tense stuff, but picking up donations and giving it back to the city, because I was a significant part of No One Person Goes Hungry. When I do stuff, it's like I'm doing it like I'm at No One Person Goes Hungry as a board member, as a business partner, as a friend or whatever. Right. The point is to continue doing what we was doing. Claudia and Chef cooks, Claudia do housing. My vision is to get people in housing too. So they'll call me if somebody needs somewhere to go, and I reach out to my circle of people. I'll call them to see that they have space. That's how we do. That's how we do. It's called wrapped around service. Somebody need to get into counseling, we send them to counseling. Somebody need to go into a substance abuse program, we get them into a substance abuse program. So that's my goal with helping our people. You want the quality of your life to turn around, then we get you into the program, and you have to. If you still going off of old information, that information that keeps getting you in trouble because you don't have no new information. So you gotta go with what you know. Coming up on 29 years, I'm sharing with one of our members. I had to learn to change the old way of thinking. So where I used to be that lying, no good, manipulating, such and such and such and such back then when I was in the game and all that, because it went with the game. It seemed like the right thing to do. Now that I got clean and I started getting around other people, I didn't realize that I was a loving, caring, kind, considerate person. To thy own self be true. So I had to learn after a while, y'all, to let that stinking thinking go. I'm on here, Tammy. Yup. So I had to learn to let that stinking thinking go. So a lot of y'all who think I'm this mean, nasty dude, like I try to tell y'all, it's a role that you have to play sometimes just to get people attention and doing what you do. But for the most part, I had to learn to change my old ways of thinking. So I'm not that rotten dude that I once portrayed. I thought was the way to go. Nigga, who you talking to? Move, Tammy. Smelling all on me. But anyway, and that's what I was telling somebody. You know, certain people I just don't deal with. If your attitude is like it was when we was in the streets, I mean, that's you is who you are. And what I'll do for me, I'll back up off you because I don't want to feed into that. I don't want to go back to that. So that's why I try to be around people that's doing a lot of positive things to encourage me and motivate me to continue walking on the path that I walk on. My path is spiritual in nature. So that's what I try to focus on a lot. It ain't all about reading and understanding the Bible and quoting the Bible and stuff like that. I try to live by the morals, values, and principles that I get from Holy Scriptures. Y'all ain't know that, did you? Y'all ain't know that, did you? So I've been posting on my page, right? Good morning to the sinners and the saints. And the reason why I do sinners, because sinners do become saints as far as turning your life around. That's why I said sinners first, to move us away from that destructive lifestyle. Let me put it like that. Anything that's against God. That's why I put the sinner part first. Because once you turn your life over. So if a lot of y'all wonder why I'm doing it, that's why I'm saying it. Because we know, whether you sinning or not, we all God's children. So sinners become saints. You got me? Now, I didn't follow up on it too much, but about this Fells Point thing, um, from my experience of dealing with Communities United and knowing that most of your areas, your community have a community association, right, program or whatever. They have a president of that community association. The president's job with any issues that's going on in the community is to get the community together. I know how to organize in your community. Our Community United is there to help you, to come out and help you gain control back over your community. I wrote something earlier that kind of okay. One thing I know, Safe Streets, Ceasefire, these other nonprofits can't be everywhere. If you take them out of one community and take them down, then that one community is left unprotected. It all depends on how long you stay away, because if you don't do something repetitiously and people know you are showing up at a certain time every day or every other day to really help in the community, you got to be consistent with what you do. That's why a lot of people come out. Steady, if you hear, then you feel like you need to go here. You feel like you need to go over there, which is fine. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. You need to have enough that will cover each area every day in order for us to be a part of what's going on or turn around or believe in what you're doing. And I'm just saying this because a lot of people, it's consistency. You got to learn to be consistent. You got to learn to be consistent. Now, check this out. If people go on Pennsylvania North every day to encourage our young men or the hustlers and stuff like that, if you go every day, what will happen after a while? They will start looking at you because they're sick and tired of doing this, and certain ones going to come towards you for the help. Help them get their self together. That one needs to go back to show whomever that you can live a better way of life. You can be productive. So I'm sitting up here yesterday, y'all, and just some of the stuff that I heard today, or read today. I'm sitting up here, and when I first pulled up on We Are Us, right? We, ours, us. We, ours, us. So when I pulled them on them, they was talking about jobs, which is great. They was talking about how Amazon is willing to work with the We Are Us crew, right, to hire people. They was talking about how, you know, they trying to get away with people being hired for weed and working on a job. But as in as a recovering addict, right? Weed is more like a downer. It's more like a comfort zone. Put your mind at peace and all this type of stuff. So a lot of times, if you hire for weed, you ain't gonna perform your job. You hire for weed. So some companies will not hire you. Mainly your manufacturers, the ones that work with machines and stuff, because you are a liability to their company. Because if your mind is not clear, working with machinery and stuff, you can hurt yourself and you can hurt others. That's why some companies will not hire you if you get hired. Y'all don't realize too, because the weed has been approved, right? But weed kind of mess with your thinking, your reaction towards things. So when I smell weed coming from a car, I'm like, oh my God. Because it's just like you driving drunk or you driving basically under the influence of something. And it's the weed. You can smell the weed. So if the police pull you over and want to take you to jail, understand this. Because you driving while you under the influence of weed. And you can smell it. So you can't say, no, I ain't do this. So basically what I'm saying, you can end up killing somebody because your mindset, you high. You high. You high. And when you high, you're not concentrating on life and things the way you normally would if you're not high. Do y'all realize that? So the whole point of me saying that, if you want to smoke weed, do it in your house in the privacy of somewhere where you're not endangering other people's lives. Because when I smell that weed and stuff coming from cars, to me, it's no different than looking at you if you pull up a fifth of Thunderbird or some liquor while you driving, or you offer some other stuff. It's the same things. Because I know right now, as a driver myself, um, and drove tractor trailers, some people do it though, but you cannot, if you call yourself being a professional truck driver, right? And you riding around under the influence of something that can take other people's lives, that company won't work with you no more. And I'm listening to them. I didn't say nothing, right? Because I know weed now is supposed to be more like a casual thing. But if you working for somebody's business, please keep in mind, mainly around machineries, like you're a forklift driver and you hire for weed. Weed is a mellow thing. It's a mellow thing. So your mind is not into everything, because the whole goal is to relax that mind when you high on the weed or the pills. So don't get mad if a lot of companies refuse to hire you because of that, which now we trying to fight where, people can still be able to have a job. But when you go to that job, the whole point of me saying what I'm saying, you shouldn't be high working. You shouldn't be high driving. It might not be alcohol, but you under the influence of something. Now, that was something that was said yesterday that I'm throwing out. And once again, I haven't read much into the Fells Point stuff, right? Christina put something up there where I think they was talking about the $640 million that the city is holding on, and they was talking about taking about 10 millions of that and trying to do some other stuff. But as a community activist or organizer or community outreach coordinator, you have to, you have to. Thank you, Safe Streets. Thank you, Ceasefire. Thank you, Val. Love you, baby. Because I know the stuff y'all do. Shelly, I know what y'all do. It's so many of y'all. That's why I don't like to call names sometimes. Because it's so many of y'all that does great things. But what tends to happen, if you doing something great in this area, and 3, 4 blocks up, they doing something too. But it's not enough to reduce the crime or the homicide rate in the city. People need to come together. They need to come together. I'm talking about these nonprofit organizations that's out there. If a lot of y'all working with the children, y'all need to try to get connected to programs that will work with the parents. Because people now, our kids are out. And y'all doing, you know, got programs for them. You working with them. But a lot of them go back home. And when they go back home to the same situation. Some of them are being raped, being molested, being abused, starving. So they come out and get involved with your program, but they go back home to the same trouble. So are we really helping them? So that's why for me, I try to deal more with the adults. As a father, of an 18-year-old and a 20-year-old, I understand, about having teenagers. So you have to respect where they at and what they understand as children, basically, because they're not adults yet. You got to understand the mindset. And if you 50, 60, 40 something, and you can't figure out why our teenagers do what they do, just look at yourself. Just go back to when you was young. Now, we might not have dealt with some of the things that's happening now because kids are freely to do whatever they want. But go back and look at your life during those years. And that will help you understand what to do when it comes to dealing with a lot of our teenagers. Because a lot of y'all act like you never been a teenager before. So if you don't put yourself back in that mindset, you won't know what to do. You won't know what to do. So it seemed like every time certain things happen, I'll travel through life. Remember when I was 5. Remember when I was 10. Remember when I was 15, 20. You got to travel in order to come up and help people do what needs to be done. I'm telling you. So I ain't trying to talk. Basically, I'm just talking. Somebody need to hear whatever. Uh, they, I hate when this popped up. Police suspect, Baltimore gang member. See, I get notifications about a lot of stuff, and I realize you can't fix everything. So my goal is to do what I can, and what I can't, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So that's where I'm at, y'all. That's where I'm at with a lot of stuff. I don't care to come on my lives like I used to. I don't even feel like I used to. It was at one point, I couldn't wait to get on, and then I would wait another half an hour or so, and I'm back on again, doing 3, 4 hour videos. And be honest with you right now, that's not where my heart is at now. I'm looking at it. I've been here for almost 35 minutes. I'm willing to work, and I'm talking about strengthening the community. Strengthening, strengthen the community, LLC. I'm willing to work with any nonprofit. And when I say that, just to know what you do, how you do, so that way, if people need to be pulled in your direction, I can kind of guide them to you. I'm not trying to be a part of stuff. I'll come around, give you support. Hey, how you doing? How you been? Like when y'all have events and stuff like that, I will show up. But I am not trying to be on nobody's board no more. I'm not trying to volunteer in a lot of other things that people are doing because I'm basically trying to do mine. And I know for me, I can get caught up in your vision and trying to help you. So sometimes I have to move back and understand, right, Steve, just whatever God laid on your heart, your mind, and your spirit, do it. And a lot of y'all is there. You know, you're doing some great work, but then it's that next level that you want to go to, you know. So that's what I'm understanding. And for me right now, it's like I gotta love y'all or respect you from a distance with certain things. I'm just saying me because I know me. I'm a go getter. And if I'm a part of whatever you doing, I'm a go getter. And I wasn't realizing that a lot of people got offended and we became unfriends. So I don't want nothing. If you have a nonprofit, I'm not trying to take your nonprofit. If you're doing great things in the community, that's fine. But it's all about me and strengthening the community right now. People will stab you in your back and smile in your face like you don't know. So I'm just saying because you learn. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot, and I love what people hearts and minds is at. But like I told one of the friends I was talking to, when I say little statements like robbing Peter to pay Paul, I'm talking about getting over on our homeless and less fortunate people to fill up your pockets. I see a lot of it. A lot of stuff is more clear than I've ever seen before. And it's not to knock nobody. If you can live that crooked life and still feel comfortable inside, do what you gotta do. I ain't knocking it. Do what you gotta do. But the Holy Spirit will turn me up with certain things. And I don't like that feeling, with your gut flipping and all that type of stuff, and you don't have peace in your spirit, and then you gotta say, okay, God, what's going on? What I do or what happened? Blah, 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 blah. That's that self inventory I was talking about. So if you don't understand a word that I'm saying, it's okay. And I just want to say this for a lot of us that do stuff. When it comes to working on solutions, you gotta use your personal experience. It's okay to think your way because you was taught a certain curriculum on how to deal with people and stuff like that. But then when you realize later why it's not working, because I'm gonna say in a way that's not written in stone. But when you basically share your personal experience, the solution is something that you worked out of. And then you can take that and go back to help others with that. when you meet people that's lined up where you used to be, and then you can share with them and you can walk them through the process. Look, this is what I did to get better in that area of not doing it again, a day at a time, because you got to break it down. A lot of times we don't do that because we're always trying to think our way through stuff and then trying to figure out why it's not working because you're thinking, you're not using your solution. Get somebody with solutions, with a program when you want somebody to come in and help something. So you know what I do? And not just me, it's a lot of people like that. We just sit back and watch you. Going around and around and around. Just like when Brandon went to talk with Hogan, Brandon talked to Hogan before about the crime issues. During that time, Brandon went, the mayor went, I don't know if the commissioner went. Remember with the Eye in the Sky situation? And once again, there go Brandon going over to the governor. And it's like everything repeats itself. And I don't think a lot of y'all pay attention to that. They did this before. And then I'm sitting up there reading the other day, right? 30 schools closed down because it didn't have air. Didn't they know that before the kids started going back to school? Same things again. Every year it's the same jump. It's the same goddamn jump. Just like when the summer get ready to come over with, a lot of schools gonna shut down because nobody went in to switch it over for the heaters. So now they're gonna send 30 classes. Schools again gonna close early. It's the same stuff. People not taking the time out to go make sure the boiler's working, to go make sure the air conditioner working. But I bet you they ain't doing that in the county because a lot of that stuff they check up on. It's just a lot with Baltimore City, and that's what we do. That's what we do. Just go right around in circles. Go right in circles. The same stuff. I was telling somebody that I said Brandon Scott went through the same things with when he was president of the council members. Him, he had it out with Hogan. Jack said a few things towards Hogan when Hogan came down on them, and I'm like, it's just it just repeats itself. And the reason why, because don't nobody had no solution, or they're not trying to use it. So it just repeats itself. And then you take somebody like me, with a big mouth and come on and want to share certain things. I'm a troublemaker. I ain't no troublemaker. It's about getting to the truth. It's about getting to the truth. Yeah, David, I was down there yesterday, and I told them guys, I said, man, I love y'all. I love y'all. You know what I mean? And the reason why I said that, because I'm looking at black men walking through the communities. Not with the white man, not with this, not with that, but I'm just saying black men, fathers, because we need more black men to come out, grab hold to your kids. See, I don't have to worry about Lil Steve. Lil Steve plays soccer, so we keep him doing stuff. So a lot of the young men and older that's out there doing what they're doing because they don't have the proper leaders or somebody to guide them. I'm telling you. People had to guide me, had to walk me through a process, told me stuff like you got to change people, places, and things. Even though if I want to think like I did when I was out in the streets, because it's not gone nowhere, I can go there. But I don't like that old man of me. I love this loving, caring, kind, considerate person, this wimp. I feel sometimes like a little chump, but no, I'm just saying I'm able to express myself and be honest with myself. I don't have to lie to you to be my friend. I ain't going there. I ain't got to do that to be a part of your clique. I ain't got to do that. So I'm talking with these guys, man, and I'm telling them I'm so proud of them because I've been fighting for a long time to see our black men come together like that. I've been fighting for a long time. For like 10 years, I held down a prison commitment. Um, my cousin, I'm sorry. My cousin, my cousin wasn't able to take care of her daughter. So a lot of y'all don't know. I did um, foster care. I did foster care, but I did kinship foster care. So I went and I grabbed my nieces and nephews so they wouldn't be put into, people houses that they don't know. So I became a foster care provider. And in any situation that happened, I would grab my cousins, my nieces, my nephews, because I did not want them to get lost in the system. I did that for about 10 years. I mentored young men, and I did that for about 10 years. I had a prison commitment, and I would go into the wide building and stuff like that. And I did that for about 10 years. And this guy accused me of beating him up. He got beat up by the drug dealers, but not me. So because he said I beat him up, um, they took away my badge for coming in to do what I was doing. And at that time, uh, O'Malley had a program out, right, where churches. I'm trying to think of what it was called at that time because I became a part of that. That's why I started mentoring young men. I became a part of his program with the church base, faith-based program. So the lady wanted me to go in. Now I'm already going into prisons, right? But she wanted me to come in on the ministry part. But when that guy accused me of beating him up, they took the badge away. I couldn't get in because I had that assault charge against me. So they stopped all of that. So once I was able to clear that stuff up, I never took back over those commitments. Somebody else held them for the longest time after me, right? Um, Everything that I try to do to help move things forward, people always fight me not to do the right things. I'm talking about black people. I don't have an issue with white people when it comes to that. It's always somebody black. And I'm not trying to take from you. I'm not trying to steal. Um, Eventually, because I was doing the kinship foster care with my cousin daughter, something happened at the house while I was working, and the police came. They took her, and they ended up locking up somebody. I'm not gonna say their names because they probably looking on my stuff. But anyway, I stopped doing foster care from that too, the kinship foster care. And I let my little cousin, by this time, well, I let her go back with her mother. You know, um, every time it's like I put my hands in something, y'all always fight me. Y'all always fight me. And I'm just trying to help people gain a quality of life. So I'm telling my friend that I don't want to keep talking about like doing things for the city or for our people. The thing is, just do it. You know, get it done. Get it done, Steve. You know, I don't want to be in front of everybody's camera no more. You know, I don't want to be on Facebook 5, 6 times, 10 times during the day. Like I feel like I need to let y'all see my face and blah 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 blah. I don't feel like that no more. It's like that spirit came over me, and it's like, Steve, start doing stuff in silence. And Christine, I ain't trying to be smart. You gonna tell me the other day, yeah, you starting trouble. Starting trouble. Don't throw me in that mess. Like I said, don't throw me in that mess. Don't throw me in that bull jump. If it's my chaos and confusion and I see it, I'm gonna apologize to you. Oh man, I ain't mean to do that. You know, I ain't mean, but do not bring me in other people's mess. Don't. And that's the good part when you know you ain't did nothing wrong or you ain't say nothing stupid. But I'm gonna tell you, people is who they are, man. And I'm not mad about that. Pammy, stop. Stop. You better stop getting smart with me. Yes, I'm talking to you. Whatever. Go ahead out if I get that paper. Sitting up here talking crap. That's my kitty. No, that's my niece cat. She every time I come on, she be wanting my attention. But yeah, y'all, I'm just talking. I'm just talking. Um, I'm just talking because I'm just looking at like the same things that repeating itself over and over and over. I don't know if we have short term memories because it's like when we get through something, some months later it could be the same condition or the same issue, and we just fall right into that trap again. So I need y'all to, like I said, go over to my Strengthening the Community on my Google stuff. And I need y'all to kind of like comment, you know, if you don't like me, tell me you don't like me. No, no, go over there and embrace my page. Um, I just be trying to put stuff on there on like YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. Um, I think it's Periscope too. It's about 6 social media pages that a lot of us use on a consistent basis, right? So all that other stuff on the outside, because I'm doing Restream, and I don't know who might be looking at my stuff from what country. I don't know. And the only way I'll know that unless you come in and you probably share something like that. You know, I'm over in Africa or I'm over in China and I'm listening to your live or I'm watching your live. I won't know until somebody let me know what areas they're in to see these lives. I just know doing a restream, they supposed to stream your stuff to like 30 other social media pages. I do, and y'all know I talk about it from time to time. I do want to set up something right where I will take that time out on a certain day, like an hour or so, where we can actually talk about stuff. I can bring a lot of people in on this restream. I just got to learn how to do it. Where if I want to call Candy or such and such and such and bring them in, I can. And we can do group things. But my thing is to be able to talk about like a life crisis or issue and what you did to work up out of that, so we can help people from from being stuck. Because if you don't share your truth with people, people won't know. People don't know that you can get better in certain areas, that you can turn your life around. They don't know. So they think wherever they at, they're gonna do that. And this is just who I am, and this is because I didn't said all that. I said all that. But like I said too, and I'm looking at I've been on for almost an hour. If it wasn't from the people when I came into NA, grabbing me by the hands and walking me through this process, when I got to the sixth step and stuff like that and doing step work, it talked about character defects. You know, that shame, that guilt, that anger, that jealousy, all that type of stuff that was negative, that I had to humble myself and ask God to remove those things from me. So I wouldn't be that rotten, no good person again. And it's not to say that person won't flare up from time to time, but still, I'm starting to learn from being angry, carrying resentments, feeling fear, um, being ashamed or not feeling worthy. I had to learn to put some positive morals and values and principles there. Like if I'm angry with you about something, I had to learn how to forgive. If I hate you about something, I had to learn to forgive. Things like that, things that I used to carry. I had to understand that it was stuff that went on in my life in the past. I can't change it. It's already done. So I had to learn to accept whatever happened back then happened. I had to learn to forgive myself for how I felt about certain things and forgive the person that caused the harm to me. Acceptance and forgiveness in order for me to move on with my life. I can't carry around grudges. I can't carry around resentments. I can't carry this stuff around. I can if I want, but guess what? It will move away the peace. If you carry grudges against somebody or hatred against somebody, that's what you're focusing on. So you ain't got no peace in your life. You might act like you got peace in your life, but you ain't got no peace. And I pray that I didn't confuse whoever that's listening, because I know, I just talked a little bit about this, that, you know, I don't want to point the finger at people like I used to. I don't want to just point, yeah, you know better than that. You need to do that. You need to do that. You just, I don't want to do it no more. The whole thing is, Steve, just try to move in silence. Just try to move in silence. And I got people that watch me, they respect what I do, and it's like, come on, let's hook up and do some things together. I have no problem with that. I have no problem. I'ma just say I love y'all because this thing been on for about an hour, and I don't want to get back into that habit. So I love y'all. I thank y'all. David, thanks, bro. Chef, thanks, bro. I don't know who else might have said something, but I'm just saying thank y'all because y'all support me no matter where I'm at, how I feel about stuff. Y'all right there. So I just want to say I love y'all and I'm out. Take care, fam.